Hello there. Thanks for joining me once again this week as we drop the anchor on effective business communication. Over the last couple of weeks, we've been focusing on how can you get better in your information exchange, particularly in the workspace. And if you have missed the last set of videos, please go back and watch and share freely, because we've tried to define what communication is. We've tried to focus on what is common to effective communication. We've identified the different channels and types of communication, and we've taken them one by one to find out what is peculiar to each type of communication. And what are we trying to achieve? We are trying to get to the point that irrespective of the public that you are communicating with, whether it's internal, it could be your boss, it could be your peers, it could be your subordinates, or it's a business to business communication, or it's a business to current customers, or it's a business to potential customer communication, or even it's a general public information, you can achieve your desired response both for yourself as an individual and for the brand that you represent. That's the whole essence of what we are doing here. And this week, as we drop the anchor, there are a few final tips that I want to share with you, which speaks directly to communication in the formal environment, that we hope will help you get the full picture of what we're trying to say, so that the desired outcome can be achieved. Come along with me. Point number one will be that you need to be aware of the inverse relationship between the level of the organization you are speaking to and the level of detail that you share. So make that one level of detail. What are we speaking about? We are saying that if you are writing to the senior level in the organization, the CEO, the C-level officers, you need to remember that their time is limited. They are probably more aware of the situation than you are, and they are looking for just the critical elements that they need for their decision making. Meaning that when you are writing to that level, you go with the lowest level of detail possible to achieve your information exchange. If you go too wordy, you go too lengthy, 20, 30, 40 pages report, the chances are that no matter how nice those reports are, they may never get around to reading them. Mentally, they may say, okay, I'll come back to this, but they may never open. So if you want to achieve consumption, if you want to achieve information exchange, when you are writing to the senior level of the organization, you must be conscious that at that level, brevity is the name of the game. Keep it straight, keep it simple, keep it direct. The last episode of this video had to do with visual information. Use as much of that as you can. Tables, images, like they say that an image paints 1,000 words. Keep it very, very succinct. That way, you are likely going to have your report or your information consumed. So that's number one. Point number two, you need to find alignment between the message, the medium, and the audience. MMA. What am I speaking to? I am saying that for effective exchange of information in the formal space, you need to ensure that if you pass that message over that medium, your audience will get it. They will get it when you want them to get it, and they will be able to consume and respond to it the manner that you want them to respond to it. So, assume that you are an organization where the average employee is only able to check his or her email in the office, and you have an urgent information to pass across, and then you decide to go through emails. I am sorry, you are only winking in the dark, because the chances are that nobody will see it until they get back into the office, and at that point it may be too late. Or Imagine an organization where when you want to make payment to your vendors, instructions are given verbally. You call the accountant and say, accountant, please pay T-Consult $5 million and pay to the account, and you reel out the account number. What is likely going to happen? There will either be errors of omission or commission that can cost the organization very much. So what do you do when you want to give out payment instructions? You write it, not with pencil, but with pen and ink, such that if there is any alteration, anybody and everybody can see that there was an alteration to this document. So in deciding the medium, you must factor in the message and the audience that you are trying to write. And very closely related to that is the fact that in different organizations, they treat different media differently. What am I saying? If you work with government, for the most part, until you have written a memo under specific flying seal, signed by specific individuals with specific format and template, you have not communicated. Meanwhile, in some private sector organizations, even social media is acceptable as a means of formal and official communication. What am I trying to say? I'm saying that even in your choice of medium, you must remember the culture and the practice of your organization so that you do not run foul of it. But whatever you do, point number 2 is always find an alignment between the message, the medium, and the audience. Make that point number 2. Point number 3. Most of the critical communications you will have to deal with in any formal setting is your communication with your superiors. Why? Typically because they are largely responsible for your promotion, your recommendations, your demotion, even your firing. Therefore, you need to pay close attention to how you communicate with your superiors. And in doing that, I want to share a quick tip with you to the point that you need to establish whether your boss is a listener or a reader. What am I saying? There are bosses that, irrespective of how nice your reports are, no matter how well you have managed to use visuals and tables and kept it very simple and straight to the point, until they've spoken with you and they've engaged you verbally, they have not heard you. Your information has not been passed across. Those are listener bosses. And there are those that no matter how many words you've said and how much time you spend explaining what you've done, until you have written, they haven't heard you. Those are reader bosses. You need to quickly establish which one your boss is and do your best to comply with them. What am I saying? If your boss is a listener, it doesn't matter whether you have found the right alignment between the message, the medium, and the audience. Let's take as an example that it is the kind of information that you think that the right medium for it is by writing. Even having written and sent it in, if your boss is a listener, for you to achieve the level of information exchange you are looking for, you most likely need to spend time with them and talk them through what you've written, and then they get it. And for those who are readers, don't fool yourself thinking that because I spend 1 hour explaining to him, it's done. You most likely still need to stop and write to ensure that there are no ambiguity between what you are saying and what they are getting. These are critical if you want to achieve effective communication in the workplace. Finally, we are here now, drawing the curtain on this series on effective business communication. It's been a learning journey for me as well, particularly on the visual communication. So I encourage you also to please go back and watch, and if there are questions, clarifications, or points on which you want to engage, the email address is on the screen. Please feel free to write in, and let's get going on this so that very soon you too can start achieving the kind of result you want and we can start celebrating you that you are living your dream. This is Delight Channel, Development, Empowerment and Leadership Initiative. Every week, we release a video that we believe will help you on in your journey to living your dream. Tim Mark is still my name. Thanks for being with me again this week. And don't ever forget, all I'm trying to do is what? Make a little difference. See you next week as we move on to a new series. Have a very wonderful time and bye.